What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Adventure Outpost. It has been a minute since we've been able to do our last video. It feels like a lifetime that I have been moving out of my apartment and back into my parents' house for the summer while I wait for my house to be finished at the end of August. So everything is just all over the place. So it has been wild to find a time to sit down and do a video again. But we were able to squeeze one in today because, of course, it is the end of the month. I have to talk about what I am most excited for the month of July. I gotta talk movies. It's been too long. I just gotta regurgitate it out of my mouth. And that's what we will be doing today. We are going to be counting down my most anticipated movies for the month of July. But quickly, before we jump into all that good stuff, hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Smash that like button so we can rock against the algorithm. And now we can party on. We kick off at the bottom of this list with what looks like not only the worst movie for July, but will probably end up being one of the worst movies for the entire year. And it is Paws of Fury, the legend of whatever the hell this Kung Fu dog's name is. It's a trailer I've had to sit through on pretty much every movie I've been going to see for the last month. It is so painfully unfunny. It's one of those animated movies that looks like it's just sneaking in from a really underground studio that you've never heard of, that's just pumping through, just somehow got name recognition that just seems like they're just trying to cash a paycheck. It just looks like such a rundown, like lazily done animated movie. There's not one part in that movie that cracks me up. It is just painfully unfunny. It is living off of really cliched bits and hokey dialogue by using the likes of Michael Cera, Samuel L. Jackson, Ricky Gervais, all those. It's just so fucking tired and cliched. Like the bit about them just giving beans to all the cats and then they just start farting and lighting fires. It's just like, my God, like you've done that so many times for so many years. Like, how can you still be putting this joke in movies? It looks absolutely brutal. But right hot on the heels of that is actually our first wide-released movie coming out for the month of July. It is Minions: The Rise of Gru. This is a series that I really liked the first Despicable Me, and then I've ended up liking every subsequent movie that's been released in this universe, just a little bit less. And then by the time they had gotten to the first Minions movie, I had had an absolute fucking enough of these stupid-ass Minions. They were fun in the first Despicable Me movie, mostly because they are used very sparingly and they're just there for goofy humor against the backdrop of this family little cute story they were telling. But you make an entire movie of these dumbass creatures that just fucking don't even speak English, and it is so painfully brutal to sit through. It is not funny. It is not entertaining. It is a slog. It is just brutal, and I expect this one to be very much in the same. I don't give a crap what reviews are saying. I hated the first Minions movie. I am fully expecting to hate this one. July is a month of animated movies because right hot on the heels off of Minions is DC League of Pets or Super Pets or whatever the hell you want to call it. It is the animated movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart doing their 19th movie together. This movie is another one. It just looks tired and boring and been there, done that, and it doesn't look like it's adding anything new or fun to the animated genre. The animated genre has definitely taken a hit this year. It seems it's been the hardest to get people back in the seats for. I think the highest grossing post-pandemic animated movie right now is Sing 2 with 400 million. Everyone was expecting Lightyear to be the one to bump it back up at the box office, and as you can see, it's not doing it. Pixar's just not doing it, and I don't really see anybody else do it. I mean, Minions will probably make a shitload of money because it's the first Minions made $1 billion somehow. But I see Paws of Fury is going to bomb hard. DC, this movie might make some money, but it's probably going to end up around the same area of Sing 2, in the 400, maybe 500 million, depending on how good it does. But I just don't see these movies really bringing in the crowds this year. Animation has really taken a hit post-pandemic. Up next is our first actual live-action movie for the month of July, and that is Where the Crawdads Sing, a movie based on the book by Delilah Owens, I think her name is. I actually just finished reading the book. It's a pretty decent book. It's not terrible. It's not the best thing I've ever read. I feel like it was definitely overhyped. Like when they just gave me the book to read, like everybody was like hyping up how good this book was. And I think it was okay. It was good. It wasn't great. I think the movie has a chance of being better than the book if they structure it correctly. But that remains to be seen. The trailer is interesting. It doesn't give much away about what the actual story is. It keeps it very vague, and I'm cool with that. I like that you don't give away too much because when I read the book, I was like, oh, so this is where that story is going to go. Interesting. I think it's going to be hopefully a good book. Hopefully a good book, a good movie. Hopefully they could adapt it pretty well and be able to capture like the thrilling spirit of it as it follows along on this journey, as we follow this girl from a young age up into her mid-20s. After that is the directorial debut of BJ Novak, his movie Vengeance. I've actually only seen this trailer once. They're not really marketing this movie at all, which is a shame because it looks like a lot of fun. It's like a comedy crime thriller, it looks like. It just looks like a lot of fun and a very offbeat and fun movie that can be really good for the summer crowd, especially for like the late summer crowd, like towards the end of July where like all the big movies have already come out and it's kind of like starting to teeter off. But you haven't really seen any marketing for this movie anywhere. It's crazy. You guys, I mean, I'm sure they probably don't have a lot of money to market it, but you'd think you'd see this trailer on more movies that you're going to see. I think I've only seen it on like one trailer so far, and I think it was like randomly Lightyear. Maybe that's probably not right. It probably wasn't on Lightyear. I see too many movies to remember. But it was on something that I've seen in June, but it was only once. So let's up that marketing before it comes out at the end of July. Let's go. Coming in at number 3, my third most anticipated movie for the month of July is Jordan Peele's return to the writer-director chair for the movie Nope. This movie, I wasn't that excited for this movie based off the first trailer. Like, it looked like it would be fine, but like it wasn't going to be something that was like overly like, oh, I can't wait for this to come out. I need this to come out now. This could be good. It was just something that I was like, yeah, I'm going to go see that. Like, it looks like it'll be fine, but it's not anything that I'm particularly excited about. But the second trailer that came out that started to peel back the layers a little bit more and give us a little bit more about what the story is going to be about, now I'm super into this movie. I'm like super excited for it to come out. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It looks like a perfect summer movie, a nice little creepy movie in the essence of only Jordan Peele can accomplish. It certainly looks like it's going to be a fun summer movie and one of the better ones to be coming out for the month of July. Taking the silver is the latest Marvel MCU movie. Thor is returning for his 4th outing with Thor: Love and Thunder. I have a very love-hate relationship with the Marvel Universe. I have a very love-hate relationship with superhero movies. Anybody who's been watching my channel knows that I am not the biggest superhero fan. This definitely looks like one that's on more of the excitement level for me, simply because I love Chris Hemsworth. I love Taika Waititi. I place my faith in Taika Waititi that he's going to give us a little something different than what you typically would get in a superhero movie. I think the production design in the movie looks incredible. Like, his use of color looks absolutely phenomenal, especially when they're in the area. I guess it's probably like Gore the God Butcher's like home world or some shit where it's like it's just devoid of color. I think he's going to play with a color palette that's really, I think visually this movie is going to excite me. The thing that makes me most excited for this movie, obviously, is Christian Bale. He is the reason that that this movie makes it up to number 2, ahead of Nope and Vengeance and stuff like that. Because normally I'd just be like, yeah, 4th Thor movie, like, I guess, cool, why not? But the fact that they've got Christian Bale as the villain, Gore the God Butcher, I am super excited for that. I think that's going to be really cool. And here's my vow: all gods will die. But as I say all the time, there can only be one, and my most anticipated movie for the month of July is The Gray Man. The action, high-speed, thriller, crazy movie that's coming to Netflix. I think this is the first time that since I've been doing these at least, that a streaming movie is taking the number 1 spot for my most anticipated movie. I'm super bummed that this movie is not coming out in theaters because it looks like a movie that's just tailor-made for the big screen. I think it's an absolute slap in the face that it's not coming to the big screen in some capacity because it looks just balls to the walls. Chris Evans, Ana de Armas, Ryan Gosling back for his first movie in like a couple of years. Like, it's super exciting. I think it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, high octane, super crazy. Hopefully it's able to have a little bit more of the substance for a thriller than it just being all style and bombastic action. So it remains to be seen. But as for right now, based on the trailers, that movie is my most excited for the month of July. And that is my list. Be sure to check back at the end of July when we do our whole ranking for the month of July and we see how those have stacked up and if they ended up landing in any of the actual tiers that we have decided for them here, what ended up being good, what ended up being not so good, and all that good stuff in between. But until the next adventure, you have been you, I have been me. These are the movies that we love to watch. And until next time, adventure on.